Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Heracles Porsche, also known as Gildenlock, and I wanted to take a moment today to show you the new tank trap unit. Basically, it's like barbed wire, but for tanks. I'll put one out there. Luckily, he put his, uh, let's see, his unit there. As you can see, it's doing some decent damage, but nothing crazy. It did slow down that tank quite a bit. If I'd put it a little bit further back, maybe that would have delivered more damage. But anyway, so that is of course a very high level enemy thingamabobber, heavy tank. So I guess that'll serve as a decent example. I am gonna go into tactics for using this unit. One big thing is the minesweeper. If the minesweeper, the front of the minesweeper comes into contact with the tank trap, it will clear it away. So that's a big thing to keep in mind, of course. However, if you can catch the minesweeper at, say, alright, the tail end, so as you can see, it's not doing as much slowdown, but it will be there the whole time, so it'll deliver more damage. As you can see, that mortar cleared it away quite quickly, so it's not hyper durable. So against this kind of mortar man, you know, build, it won't necessarily be crazy good. There are probably some good tactics for anyway. Well, on the plus side, my first game went pretty quick, so I can get into the, I can get into showing you the stats on the thing pretty quickly. So here we go. You can see the, I don't see the damage per second, but area damage is 18 a tick, and the hit speed is, let's see, every quarter of a second. So you know, multiply. Okay, and it ranks up at 1 a second. So at like rank 6, it would be doing about 80 damage per second to the tank. And yeah, there are tactics to discuss with this thing. I did see a really good maneuver today. Okay, I'm pretty sure this guy uses a good amount of tanks, so this might be a good one to test on. But I saw a good maneuver where there were two tanks pushing against each other, and this is a maneuver that was actually used on me. There were two tanks that were pushing against each other, and what the guy actually did, because when on his side, he put the tank trap, you know, underneath my tank, and that actually.
Anyone for a Barbie?
So the tanks were locked in place, but he was damaging my tank over time because it was held in place with the other tank. So that's definitely a tactic to consider, is trying to, you know, trying to lock a place in tank, you know, trying to lock a tank in place with your own tank, and then, see what you can do there in terms of, you know, locking it in place with your own vehicle, and then using the tank trap to deal damage. So as you can see, he's using his high-level tank trap. He's got his right on the border, so you can see how much it's slowing down my my heavy tank. I mean, that was quite a savage amount of damage if it's right along the border, and it takes time to go through the entire thing. So if you consider I spent 8 points on that unit, and you know, there was all that damage over time, That's pretty savage. So, yeah, very handy to be having an opponent who's using the tank trap as well. You can just demo that.
Take him out. Heading out, sir. Wir machen sie alle. Be sure to be fun.
So he'll probably be getting another tank trap up here. I'm gonna leave it. I could clear it away very easily with my missiles. I'm actually gonna try. Okay, so for lulls, I'm gonna try and clear it away with that mine. Okay, so the minesweeper coming in behind. I guess that's a semi-viable tactic. Obviously, it doesn't work great there with all that other stuff right there.
Those tanks won't know what hit them.
This time I will clear it away.
Death from above. Show me the mines. Anti-infantry, setting up. Panzer in Bewegung. Fire in hole.
Alright, that's another loss. Hey guys, my wins and losses don't matter. I'm demoing a unit. Okay. You know what? I think next time I will actually try and play to win a little harder. I don't know. I'll make this video. I'll just go through a few games, showing you guys what's up. This new tank trap. If I'm hoping I'm playing against another player who uses lots of tanks. I will try to get one flush with the border, so you can kind of just see how it plays.
Naval strike inbound. Moving to intercept. Forward.
Alright. Come on, put out a tank. I want you to put out a tank so I can demo this new unit. Boom, 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 boom.
Building.
Okay, here we go. So, and yeah, definitely don't be afraid to try to get it up at like more or less the last second. 'Cause it's got, I mean, so yeah, here we go. We'll watch the damage on this. So, that wasn't crazy. So, I mean, that took a light tank to about half. It might have different effects on different tanks because, you know, tanks are moving at different speeds. So, it's going to hamper a different unit, keep it in there for a different amount of time. As you can see, it's cleared away pretty easily with shenanigans like those fighter planes. So we're gonna try to get one on Minesweeper here. So as you can see, it is doing damage on that Minesweeper, but it's really not super ideal against the Minesweeper, obviously.
What will unit do?
It's the tank trap. So yeah, different positioning strategies are probably going to be effective for different units. So yeah, like basically each unit is going to be. You're probably going to have, if you decide to use the tank trap, you're probably going to have to work out which so that was a very interesting combo, the flamethrower and the tank unit, because that did keep it in there for an extra second. This would be obviously people will probably hate me for saying this, but this would be a pretty interesting unit in the like the big bombard builds, or you know the ones where those wussy builds where people just hang back and try to you know, bomb everything. Um, let's see here. Um, I mean, I guess we do have to. I guess the interesting unit to weigh this against
LOL,
is.
it's back.
Hey, how's it going? Do you mind keeping chat to a minimum for the rest of the live stream? Thanks so much. Um, and let's see. So yeah, obviously the unit to weigh it against is now. Of course, I'm measuring a level 9 AT mine against a level 4 thing, but you see that's 800 damage against. Let's see.
Okay, sorry.
No worries, man. All right, so let's see. That would be like move that. All right, add the. All right, so let's see. Add the. Let's see, add 5, so that's 525. So that's 100 a second on like a relatively, well over 100 a second on a like a relatively high level tank trap. But I mean that anti-tank mine delivers like an 800 burst, but it only does it once. So really, obviously, it's very situational. Um, the tank trap, definitely stick with the tank trap if you're using like any kind of commandos build, obviously, because those synergize really well. Um, I don't know if this guy's gonna use too many.
Kämpf dich, Schweinhunde! Wir rennen vorwärts! Verteidigung um jeden Preis!
You see, it has no effect on.
On the move!
It has no effect on infantry whatsoever. So it can, of course, have the effect of separating infantry from the tank. That's another big thing I forgot to mention is actually when you see the little demo for it at first, that's exactly what it shows you is the tank is the infantry moving past the tank. As you can see here, again, I'll show you the Minesweeper does clear it out. So that is a big weakness. It's unfortunate that I find it a little bit unfortunate that they did make it weak to the Minesweeper, because obviously anti-tank mines are obviously already weak to the Minesweeper, so it would have been like nice variety, basically. All right, so.
Let's go! Fire all battery! Anyone for a hobby?
So obviously there's a lot of, as you can see, that's a demo of a counter move that would probably be pretty common.
Leading the way.
You know, obviously if you did stack too much stuff in one spot, big risk of losing it all in one blast, etc. But you see, it did separate my flamethrower from
Does it stop cheap and sorry
yes,
for
yeah, actually
typing?
No worries. Actually, that is a really good point. I do quite like it against the half track and the Jeep. Fortunately, I haven't really been able to demo that yet. But yeah, it is quite handy for that. I can't believe it's going all the way down here, this thing. Because if you do combine it with your other, that would have been a great chance to demo it right there. Unfortunately, I derped a little bit. So as you can see, 100 damage from that. From even that flamethrower unit did pretty much clear it out. So.
Got to go to doctors. Oh.
Okay. Let's take another quick look at the stats here of it, just so we've got that. So yeah, health 119, and the health and area damage does go up ever so slightly when you buff it, but and anyway, as we can see, world number 1 here is probably experimenting with the rank 1 in the training grounds. So, um, I just want to, I'm just gonna keep going. I want to end this on a win. I'm weird like that. Trying to think of what other tactics I can use. But yeah, the Jeep, combining this with like your other anti-Jeep units is probably be great. It would definitely be a far
Is
better.
this game worth?
It's a free-to-play game, so by free-to-play game, yes, it's worth it. It's free to play. There are kind of long-term RPG mechanics which, you know, can, might make it. I don't know. It might change how you feel, but I quite like it for the tactics and the flexibility and everything. So yeah, this game's well worth a pickup when you consider it's free to play and it expands your brain. At least it feels like it does to me.
Wir machen sie alle.
All right, so we finally have the chance to test the tank trap against a tank destroyer. I'm pretty excited for this because I'm sure you guys know it's already pretty slow to rotate. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put this. So I don't see too much slowdown on the rotation. So that's well worth a note. Is it doesn't seem, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to have affected rotation speed. That's actually my first time, kind of having an opportunity to watch that in action. So, yeah, unfortunately that would have been a really cool tactic, but it doesn't work that way. It is just very much like, it won't affect the tank rotation.
It looks
just
like a pay-to-play game that will develop into...
It is free to play. You can pay to buff your units, basically, well, and get units and all kinds of stuff.
Something like COC.
Yeah.
Zum Sieg. Für das Reich.
Alright, so we'll put another tank trap flush with the
Kämpf dich, Schweinhund.
oh, and there's a good thing to kind of, as you can see, having the tank, keeping that tank there locked in place did, with that rotation, does give it extra time to damage that unit. So that was well worth a mention. But yeah, it's worth checking out. Definitely probably gonna work out much better against Jeeps, etc. Gonna get it there ahead of time. Okay.
Leading the way. Take him out. Anti-infantry, setting up.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Party time.
combining this with your other, it's gonna be a better anti-Jeep and anti-half-track unit than the AT tank mine, just because it'll catch that unit so much more often. And if you're already sporting, bazookas or machine gunners, you can combine that and just neutralize those units. So
Let's run. Wir machen sie alle. Los, Vaterland. Wir sind auf dem Weg. Wir können nicht verlieren. Jäger bereit zum Aufschmerz. Party time. Let's roast.
so it did finish off that
Wir machen sie alle.
that tank destroyer there. That's a draw. It's almost worth ending on, but not really. Let's see. Alright, I will just go into another one. That's literally all the commentary I can think of about the tank trap. I'm just gonna keep playing and hoping I can demo it against new units. Obviously, I did purposely mix in other good anti-tank units with the intention of showing what those combos look like.
Roger that. Zum Sieg. Hochikata hajime. Naval strike inbound. Let's roast them.
В моем обозрении.
Wir können nicht verlieren. Yeehaw! Wir sind auf dem Weg.
Alright, I'm sorry about that. I got focused on a completely different strategy.
Death from above. Kugeki o kaishi soro. This ought to be fun.
Obviously, I'm doing what I got focused on my combined offense there rather than combined defense, because I knew I needed to take this opportunity to get in there and take that base out. So I hope you guys will forgive that. So here's the Jeep. So as you can see, boom, there, that's exactly what I wanted to demo. Combine that tank trap with a bazooka and perfectly neutralize that Jeep before it could get any damage in. Which isn't very common. Normally the Jeep, of course, does get in there and deliver some damage. But that didn't happen today. So, I should have got that. That was a slow response on my part. Probably could have. Help me turn this into a win. Okay, so let's try the tank trap on this angle. It is going to deliver constant damage against this thing, even though there's no slowdown. So it can be handy at different points in the in the arrival of enemy tanks.
Тихий и смертный.
Zum Sieg. Roger that. Open fire. Hochikata hajime. Let's roast them. Hochikata hajime.
So you can't put your tank trap right over other tank traps, so
В моем обозрении.
Show me the mines. Kämpf dich mal runter. Hochikata hajime.
not sure what got rid of that tank trap. We're just gonna keep going.
MG nest deployed. Panzer in Bewegung. Listening in, sir.
So it looks like I'm gonna be up against one of those base spammer people. So probably won't get much chance to demo the tank trap this game.
Let's roast any tank going in. The Panzer in Red fire on the boys. Kugeki o kaishi soro. Kämpf dich, Honda. Leading the way. MG search for targets. Wir können nicht verlieren. Let's go.
this guy's not gonna use any of that stuff. So yes, obviously. Oh no, I take it back. There's okay. So finally, I get to see how this thing's gonna play out against the Juggernaut. So this is the level 1 Juggernaut. Let's see how much it takes it down without any other interference. So that took, I mean, that was quite a decent amount of damage. That was like, wasn't half, but it was like maybe like a third of the HP, and considering I only spent 2 points on that, that was pretty decent. So, definitely a good unit against heavy tanks and juggernauts when it's flush against the border. Next time I will be combining units, because that's really where combining that with a bazooka or machine gunner really is where it probably you get the biggest potential. Although you are, of course, possibly setting yourself up for kind of makes me wish I hadn't used that already. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna lose. As you can see, it doesn't do anything to dull the damage rate. It just damages over time and slows the movement forward. So, but I mean, that's, you see, for only 2 points, that's quite a good amount of damage. It's just that my boat doesn't have time. If I'd combined that with a bunch of other units, that would have worked, but obviously couldn't do that because I was spent. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, I got an example of the against the Juggernaut, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep moving forward. Obviously it doesn't get a whole lot of benefit out of my officer, so I mean, the machine gunner and actually
Those tanks won't know what hit them. Target acquired. Haben die Panzer im Visier. Jäger bereit zum Aufstellen. Pushing forward.
As you see, this is gonna get cleared out basically from one shot of the howitzer. So could be very weak against howitzer builds. I mean, obviously anti-tank mines have that same problem too, but you know, you can be, you know, that's a subtlety unit. So it's got his own pros and cons there. Alright, so I'm going to put an officer behind here to push him through this unit faster. Probably is pretty savage combination that that gun turret with the tank trap. My gun turret's only level 5. So maybe I'll try that next game. But not hyper savage. I mean, it's still going to get through and start delivering whatever counter damage if it's like a heavy tank or juggernaut. So, you know, there's that. Actually, let's just go like this, and just post another reminder that the Minesweeper does clear that right out. So yeah, it's working. I mean, it didn't keep the
target acquired. Pushing forward.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of units it's kind of weak to be honest. Alright. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is maybe take out my um, maybe take out my bazooka unit and see if that gives me, take out my bazooka. Trying to get the extra flexibility I need against different builds. Alright, yeah. Um, hmm. Take out the bazooka. You know what, I'll just go in another game. I'll think about that during something or other. Alright, so we're gonna put this tank trap flush against the thing. Okay, alright, so alright. And we're gonna set up a pretty devastating combo here. So I'm gonna push back against his tank with my minesweeper. As you can see, that was a great combo of units because that kept him in the tank trap longer. So yeah, this game's all about synergy. So combining that tank trap with the relevant units is really where you might get some strength out of it. By itself, it's really nothing too impressive. It's all about that synergy.
Alright, squad, let's move out. Fire all batteries. This ought to be fun.
Something's finally going my way.
Heading out, sir. Show me the mines.
Fortunately, he's not using anything I really need to. Alright, so here, tank trap, machine gunner. Let's see how that plays out. And that played out quite nicely. It's very hard to keep those jeeps from getting in and doing a little bit of damage, but this would be one possible solution. So, I kind of wish I hadn't spent all those points, because I would have liked to get another tank trap here. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're going to tank trap. We'll just see what a panic tank trap looks like. It is keeping that juggernaut away for quite a good duration, and that definitely bought me some time to bring in my own stuff. See that flamethrower without even popping did clear away my tank trap. So yes, it's not a hyper durable unit. I cannot tell a lie. That is not one of its strengths. No. Okay, all right, cleared away most of those guys. So, and there we go. So yeah, I think that is definitely more than a long enough video going into all the strategies. If you guys have any other questions about the tank trap or the game in general or anything, I'll make sure to end it. We'll look at the unit. Just look at it. Do a nice little rotation thing. Yeah, like I said, I think I've delivered a pretty good explanation of how to use it, how to synergize it with other units. It's not like it's not. It is kind of like the barbed wire, like I said, but it's not really. It can't really savage units all by itself. It is meant more as a synergy unit, and considering that it gives you another tactic against jeeps and stuff, it might be worth experimenting with. But like I said, it does pop pretty easily. So, yeah, cleverly placed AT mines are still pretty good competition for this unit, IMO, but definitely not useless. So that is the tank trap. Leave me lots of feedback. Tell me what you think of this unit. Do you think it's going to be worth putting in your rotation, or do you think how popular do they think it's going to be? And until next time, everybody, I will see you Starside.